Your neighbor tells you about the unstable man in the cul-de-sac who claims to have been abducted by aliens. And then there's the woman in town who claims to see Bigfoot all the time. Your boss, who you greatly admire, confides in you that he has started speaking with his wife daily when he gets home from work. She died 8 years ago. It's hard to believe this stuff, and you write these stories off as overactive imaginations. Are these people seeking attention, or are they a bit unstable? No matter what you think, if you're like me, you walk away wondering, what if that was true? The What If It's True podcast features stories by ordinary people like you and me. Something has happened to them, something so strange they are in agony unless they tell others. My name is Cameron Buckner, and the What If It's True podcast is available at whatifitstruepodcast.com and on all available podcast apps.
Wait live.
that intro never gets old, does it?
What are you doing, Mark? Are you trying to be somebody with that microphone?
I'm trying to move it because it was blocking you.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe I should move it back and put it back.
That's right. Well, welcome everybody to the show. We survived Georgia, and we appreciate the Sisters of the Moon inviting us hoodlums along with them to their area. And we're going to talk about it here in a minute, but we all had fun. Spencer, Camp Champ. Oh, man.
When he put on that apron that said "Kiss the Cook," I thought I thought I was going to have to kiss him, but after he fed us, I was ready to kiss him.
Well, that was better than him wanting to watch Brokeback Mountain. I never did get that.
I never understood that, but I wasn't going down that road.
I wanted to be part of the team.
Well, you're part of it. You cooked your way right into it.
Cool.
Hey, Knight. Well, all right. On the way back from Georgia, we stopped off at Mr. Greg's place. It was Greg's house, wasn't it?
It was Greg's man cave. And y'all will recognize him from our Living with Bigfoot series. And I'm going to tell you, man, this guy is he's my people. And I just want to share with you some of the things that he gave me. He gave me a Leatherman.
Man, I wished I could have got some of that.
There's one knife.
Yeah.
He gave me another Leatherman.
What the heck?
Man.
He gave me a Swiss knife.
What now there?
And let's see. Okay.
He gave me that stuff too. I just wasn't going to brag about
it.
Well, I'm bragging because boys and girls.
This thing I had never seen before in my life, but it's cool.
It's called a Splax. Am I right with that? Am I pronouncing that right?
Spencer would know.
Yeah.
Spencer would know. And it's made by the Ontario Knife
Bush
Company.
People. Oh, knife company.
And it's a weed whacker. And it's made for firemen. Here's the sheath for it. And it's made for firemen. Like this right here will open up a fire hydrant, and there's all kind of tools on it. And he gave us that. And this is probably what I am the most proud of. And we got 2 of these a piece.
Yeah.
And it is made to make a shelf out of. But Alan made these.
That was his buddy that was on the show with him at one time.
Exactly right. And it is, I hope y'all can see the detail of it, because it is just awesome. And we got 2 apiece so that we can make a bookshelf out of it. And so I just want to publicly recognize Greg for his friendship and just a good guy. And we were at the man cave. Y'all have heard him talk about the man cave, and it is a awesome piece of property, and can't wait to go back. And let me tell you, he may call it a man cave, but it was luxurious in there. You should have seen the wood floors that were stained, and the walls is just he is a craftsman for sure.
Definitely. No doubt. Spencer didn't get nothing.
No, what the hell, Greg?
Alan. The cook didn't even get kissed.
Yeah, that's sad.
I need some booger shelf brackets.
Hey, while you're holding that, what did you call the spacks, or what did you call it?
The spacks.
While you're holding that up, I was thinking, really big monkey ain't ever had one of these on this show. But he may have, but I haven't seen it. But
yeah,
that's all right though. All right. Anything else y'all want to cover real quick? Or do y'all want to jump on in?
I guess we'll jump on in. If I got a little video pulled up if you want to. I don't know if you want
to jump that far in right now.
Well, I think this one is just eye candy.
All right. This one here?
Yeah.
Oh no! Did you
I forgot that was the first picture.
Come on, man. That's embarrassing.
I forgot that was the first picture.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I sure wouldn't have said that.
Don't lie. Don't lie. Mark was the most exciting thing we saw all weekend.
I tell y'all though, the Sisters of the Moon invited us to their spot. They only wanted a few people in there because we were going to try to get to their camp and capture some thermal or something, because they always have activity around them normally, unless me and Mark show up, and then we can cool off anything. So if anybody has any problem Bigfoot on their property, just reach out to me and Mark. We'll be glad to come out and we'll end it all.
Yeah.
But Mark and I got there on Wednesday evening, probably 4:30. Set up camp. We're excited. We're looking forward to getting scared to death during the night. Of course, we were probably a half mile down the road from the Sisters of the Moon's camp, but we got set up there, and that night, you know, I kind of went to bed with one ear and one eye open because I was expecting something to go down. And is that the way you felt, Mark, at first night?
Yeah. We came in there with our own little strategy. Larry set up a bait station that was at the end of a food plot, which backed up to a just a little slither of a wood line that went down to a creek. And so I had set my tent up so that I could put my thermal on a tripod and be able to set in my tent and sit there and just eyeball that bait station to see if anything would come out of that creek bottom up there. And Larry left all kind of goodies. He put out baby roots and peanut butter and
apples,
popcorn.
Man, I should have brought my harmonica in just for Spencer.
Oh, where is it?
Gosh, it's out in the Jeep.
Damn it.
But we did all this, and I will say nothing. The popcorn was dragged off, and it looked like it was probably a squirrel or rodents or something. I don't think anything ever came and got any of that stuff. But man, we went to bed that night. I guess Mark stayed up pretty late watching the thermal. Yeah, and I was in there snoring. And long about an hour before daylight, would you say, the parade started?
Yeah.
We had no idea, but there was a quota bear hunt in this area the exact days we were there. And it was a parade every morning of bear hunters going up and down the road constantly in the morning, listening for the dogs. I'm sure they were checking them food plots with thermals and stuff to see if something was out there to let the dogs out on. But man, that was disappointing.
Yeah.
And
you couldn't swing a dead cat without hitting a bear hunter. I kid you not.
No. And I do think they did get one, but I don't know how, because the mountain was straight up or it was straight down. There wasn't any ridges with plateaus on them or anything. It's tough in there. Those bears probably weighed 140 pounds.
I'm gonna probably so. Do you remember when we were going to go to town and we were on that really a 1.5 lane little gravel road?
Oh yeah.
And those bear hunters had apparently had harvested a bear. They had a winch, and there was 4 or 5 trucks, and it was like straight up and down, probably I'd say 85 to 100 feet at least.
Yeah.
And we barely got around them. We no more got around them, and 2 huge RVs were coming up that gravel road. Those RVs took up the whole road. I have no idea how they got around those bear hunters.
Yeah, I don't either. It's crazy. That video there reminds me, I spent 150, 60 bucks on a stinking cell phone booster to try to go live while we're in this camp. And we didn't have any signal, so there was no signal to boost. Right there, that video at that point right there, I was live and talking, and it went dead. And Mark would have had to bleep out what I said after that. And I thought, man, sometimes these lives keep on going after you think you lost connection. I had to go back and look real quick to make sure it didn't pick up. And Spencer was just force laughing me.
That was good right there.
Man, that was one frustrating thing. I set that cell phone booster up, 3 different times in different areas?
I mean, up high. Took rope and slung it over a limb, 25, 30 feet up, and winched it up, and we were in a hole. Now the girls had reception. That was aggravating.
Yeah, it was.
Larry's sitting there wanting to play them online games. thinking about them girls up there with that reception.
Yeah.
He was getting a little bit pissy on us.
He got all the Bigfoot activity and all the cell phone signal. And we're sitting here. We did have Spencer cooking for us, though, so that made up for it.
We had to improvise. We had to drive around and find stuff to do.
Yeah, we did. We had to give up on them coming to us because as the bear hunting ended, the weekend came and it was perfect camping weather. We didn't have any rain. It was in the 60s during the day, high 60s, and the lows at night were 38, 40, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So as the weekend came, Friday came, and everybody from Atlanta to Chattanooga decided they were going to camp. So that whole area had campers all in it. The closed camp we always talk about, they had reopened. And there was probably, 30 campers in there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Easily. So, but I don't know. It turned into a circus.
Yeah.
There was more traffic going through back there 13 miles out in the middle of nowhere than there is on the road I live off of.
Yeah, no doubt. It was crazy. So we improvised, and Mark and Spencer had thermals. So I was the driver. I was the 5-mile-an-hour driver. And the first night we drove the whole length of that one road around. Took us 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what all did we see, Spencer?
I think the final count was 2 squirrels in that area. And then once we got out to the highway to come back, we did manage to see a raccoon.
Yeah.
Nothing. No deer, no bear, no fox, no bobcat, 2 squirrels.
Oh, hold on. I'm trying to do something because my moderators are asleep. If I can keep the chat from moving.
Yeah, I think a lot.
There we go.
I don't know what y'all's opinion is, but my opinion is when bear season opened and those woods got flooded, every animal in there went towards the interior as far as they could get from any road.
Yeah.
And I think that pretty much includes the boogers too.
How do you unblock somebody? I accidentally blocked Gene. Gene, I'm sorry. If you can still hear me, I don't know how you get off of it. Holy crap. I was trying to block that porn person that come in there, and I accidentally blocked somebody else, and I don't know how you get them back in there. My moderators are all chatting and sending out friend requests and all that, and I'm sitting here trying to fumble through it and get it off there. Oh gosh, y'all keep talking. I gotta go on here and figure out how to let
I think that we had a pretty good strategy for driving around because we were fortunate enough to have 2 thermals, and we set up to where Larry would drive as slow as he could go, and Spencer was hanging out one window and I was hanging out the other window, and so that we could, if something lit up, we could tell him to stop and get a fix on it. And
but the problem was you were looking straight down and I was looking straight up because the road that ran through those mountains, I mean, it was 80 degrees up or down on the side of the road. It was crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna Larry, send you a video of
send me a video how to unblock somebody.
We're sorry, Gene.
We are sorry, Gene. I'm trying to get it fixed. Holy moly. Who come up with this?
Let's see. I think
Debbie. she got rid of 5 of the posts and never did block the person. I'm striping her legs.
I'll come visit you in the hospital.
Ain't that the truth?
Guys, what y'all think about this new camera that I used? That was that new camera.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That is cool. If we could freeze frame it about 20 times, we could put some red circles up there. Y'all ignore me for 10 seconds and talk amongst yourselves.
See how much the Jeep is bouncing around, but the camera is staying steady. It's on a gimbal, a 3-axis gimbal.
A gimbal.
Yeah, and so
is this one with a magnet on it?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's very good. Oh my goodness. I still ain't found it, Mark. I'm still looking.
Maybe one of our moderators can Google it.
They wouldn't even block them.
And find out how to restore somebody. Did you like kick them off the channel forever? Or did you just like time them out?
The porn person I blocked, and I accidentally blocked Gene for no reason because it scrolled as I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a list that you went to on YouTube where you could see who you had blocked and stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen it before, but I don't know where.
Yeah, I can't walk you through that.
Oh well, I'll get her back on here somehow, some way. It may not be today.
We're sorry, Gene.
It's Spencer's fault. It is.
Yeah, like everything.
3 dots. Yeah, I see the 3 dots, but where poor Gene was at, there's nothing but blocked. There ain't 3 dots there. Yeah, because that's where I immediately looked, and there's nothing except I blocked a 69 girl and a something. Wait
Innocent bystander.
Yeah, an innocent bystander. It don't give me no option to do nothing on that. Well, that totally messed up the whole thought of what I was wanting to talk about tonight.
Well, we've had some people donate, and already we've had 3 people. We had Mike, Coney, 77, and Kevin. So we want to thank y'all for showing us a little love.
Poor Gene was probably going to donate like $10,000 so I could buy a thermal drone. And now she's like, nope, I'm not doing it now. Dude blocked me.
It was a good area.
Yeah, it was a good area. And I know if we would have had less people there, it would have been a lot different. And we did have some luck that we'll talk about a little later, and I'll talk about my stupidity a little later too.
Well, I wouldn't call it stupidity.
You see Debbie's comment?
I don't read Debbie's comments. I blocked her. All right. Y'all are not talking.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still looking.
Oh, okay.
I'm still looking.
So apparently Helen, Georgia is like a...
You gave it away. Thanks a lot, Spencer.
Like a mini, no, I was talking about whenever I drove through it, going down there. Yeah. It's the mini German town thing. I didn't know that my GPS took me some funny way, and I drove through Germantown and they were having a parade or whatnot. That took me about an hour and a half out of my way. And someplace that we were down there at, first of all, don't try to buy a chainsaw chain down there because you ain't gonna find one that fits. Okay, just leave me hanging, guys.
Yeah. How many? Well, we did get it right after the second chainsaw deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It worked.
And that lasted for about 10 seconds till we hit that bad wood.
Man, what was up with that?
It was like it was petrified.
Well, everything that we went to cut out there.
Oh my. Yeah, it would dull these people. Debbie, don't message me while I'm looking for something and trying to talk too. I can't do more than one thing at once except eat.
That video there is of the food plot that was across from our camp.
Is that before or after he set it up?
That was after it was already set up. If you're talking about the bait station.
Yeah.
And then there you can see where our tents were. Spencer, what did you think about this area and where we were camped at?
No, I think the area was great, and there ain't a doubt in my mind that there could be something in there. And I mean, the ladies can talk about what all happened with them, but I think that, it was just bad timing on our part with all the campers and bear hunters and everything. I know that first night, I think it was either the first or second night that I was there. It seemed like every 25, 30 minutes, somebody was driving up the road.
Yeah, definitely. It was great. Oh my goodness.
I mean, at all hours of the night, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, it's just constant traffic.
And this is a video of the many times we took that chainsaw apart.
Oh my God.
I didn't even know you'd videoed that. We got good at it at the end. All right.
Yeah, was videotaped with that camera, that new camera. And man, that camera will hold a 512 gigabyte card in it.
All right, we gotta send Jane a t-shirt once I get her unblocked. I'll mess with it later. Man, that's why that wood chips was in my chili right there. I forgot all about that.
You can't complain. I got video of you eating popcorn off the ground this time.
I don't see any video.
You want to?
That was an awesome spot, though. It really was.
Yeah. That Spencer actually climbed up that ridge, and man, when he got back down, he was like, "Oh man, that was tough," because it was pretty vertical.
Yeah.
Everything out there was a lot steeper than it looked like. You looked at it and it didn't look that bad, but trying to go up it, I mean.
Are y'all waiting on me to say something?
Yeah.
No. That video there is of our plot watcher and the girls with the money, the kind people that donated money to the Sisters of the Moon, she was able to buy 2 of them. So
thank you, Sharon. All right. Did you put up the PayPal for me to get my thermal drone?
We need to do a whole show on that. I know I was talking to Bradley
Spencer,
the
look
other
at this
day.
guy. You see that guy?
Yeah, I see him. I accept no responsibility for my friends.
I probably did more work in 10 minutes than he's done all year. But do y'all want to get to the thermal now? How much longer we got on that? We got a while, but we tried to do what we could do in camp. We'd set up the time lapse. Mark used, you can see his TP tent there. He figured out that he could see out those windows with his thermal. So he would sit in there and scan the camp for a couple hours. Mark.
I'm trying not to laugh.
Anyway. But we really never did have any activity in camp. One night we came back in from riding around, and there was somebody in the camp that the girls called the Medusa screen or Medusa guy camp, whatever. And we heard a vocal come from that area, but there was somebody camping there, and we don't know if it was one of them or something else. But we do know the next morning they were gone.
Yeah.
And somebody else had moved in there by lunchtime or whatever. So I don't know what went on there. And that they got run out again. I don't know.
And they didn't stay long either.
No, they didn't. They were gone by before lunch the next day.
Yeah.
That was Sunday, and most everybody by lunch was headed out. It seemed like, anyway. And I don't know, but man, I recall this one time that me and it was me and you, Mark, cut wood for the girls. You remember that?
Yes.
And I went up there. Spencer was cooking while I cut some wood for the girls, and Mark hauled it up there, and I cut some wood for our camp. And we went back up there later for some reason to take them some of that good food that Spencer had cooked. And we were about to leave, and I told Spencer, I said, watch it, don't trip over that wood. And then I looked, and there was only 2 pieces of wood left. And you took a whole rack on the back of my Jeep, stacked up 2 or 3 high. And Stephanie had got scared enough that she was building a fire up. When we were there was probably 8 or 10 pieces in the fire, and they had 2 left. And that was an hour and a half after we'd cut wood.
Yeah.
You just broke your finger off pointing at Stephanie.
That poor Stephanie. I told them to bring her some Fireball, and they wouldn't do it. So she burnt every bit of that wood. And Debbie let her. She just sat there and let her.
Wow. We are going to visit you in the hospital.
It's all good. But all right, do y'all want to get to the thermal now, or do y'all want to wait?
Well, let's
Spencer's got to go to bed by 9:15, or he turns into a pumpkin.
No, I can stay up tonight. I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday.
Oh, well, we're good then.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Checks in the mail.
You're going to force me to have to get on Facebook tomorrow.
Yep.
Not me. I'm just going to tell you now.
Yeah, I know.
Don't believe that.
I hate Facebook. The only thing I get on there for is the Beast page and Messenger, and that's it.
Well, we went to an area where I don't know how long ago it was. It was a year and a half ago, maybe. And we had set up camp in a closed campground.
Thanks, y'all.
And so we had to drag all of our stuff in there. But this is one of the most beautiful campgrounds. And it's really strange why they shut that campground down.
Yeah.
To begin with. So, but they had recently opened it, and it was there was campers all in there, and of course Spencer's looking through his thermal on one side of the Jeep, and I'm looking through my thermal on the other side of the Jeep, and Larry is just driving as slow as he can drive through that campground.
Yeah.
And because there is one of the most beautiful waterfalls that you will see. I hate Spencer didn't see it in the daytime. We should have gone up there the next morning. And
but he wouldn't wait till lunch till I woke up.
And at first there's a little standing area. And so I stayed at the standing area, and Larry walked up there to make sure that it was kind of safe, because when me, you, Debbie, Sandy, and Stephanie went there in the daytime, I mean, you had to be careful walking on those rocks.
Yeah.
So Larry walked up there first, and then he hollered for Spencer. He come about halfway back. He hollered for Spencer. And so at least Spencer could walk up there and kind of get an idea, at least with this thermal, how large this waterfall is. And then when we left that waterfall, there's another waterfall that you can see from a distance, but you have to take another trail. And this is something that it baffles me. I have my suspicions why why they don't want you taking this trail, but they had done no work to this hiking trail. There was multiple trees that were down across it. Some of them you had to crawl over them. Some of them you had to get on your hands and knees and get under them. And I'm thinking, in the past year and a half, why have they not cut those trees? Because you had the little trail was, I would say, no more than 2 feet wide. And if you stepped in a wrong place or tripped over a root, you would drop down 20, 25 feet into this pretty large creek. I don't know if I'd call it a river, but it would have taken you away. Yeah. And so why would they have something like that so dangerous? Because most people would probably not get 25 yards into it and would probably turn around and come out. And here we were at nighttime, and Larry, he was the scout. He was the one leading us through there, and I was taking up the rear. And it was dangerous walking through there. And so we thought that we heard things up above us. And folks, let me tell you, it's thick. You cannot see even in the daytime when we went with the sisters a year and a half ago, it's so thick in there that when you look up to see at the top of the ridge, you cannot see anything.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's parts of the trail that you have to just weave your way through. What do they call it?
Mountain laurel.
Mountain laurel.
Whatever is the proper name for it.
And that mountain laurel, if you've ever had to bushwhack your way through that stuff, it's not easy. That stuff is thick. You've got to be certain about where you place your foot, because if you get off that trail just 6 inches, you're going down, and you're going to go down hard. Yeah, so why hadn't the Forest Service sat there and cleared out that trail where people that are camping in the campground can, it's almost like they don't want you to go down.
Probably the same reason why they closed that campground initially.
Yes.
And while I'm thinking about it, I want to say that Scott and Sheila Granger are the ones that kind of promoted us to go in there, since we were not having any luck at camp. So, and we had been in there and knew the area and knew that it was worthy to go look. We never did make it to one spot they told us to go to, but we did get a hit in this one area. But I went up this trail to the smaller waterfall, hoping that it would open up enough that we could use the thermals and see down to the creek and see the adjacent ridge, or whatever you want to call it. But man, it just kept getting thicker and thicker. And I mean, if there'd have been one standing right there at you, all it would have had to done is reached out and grabbed you, and that would have been it.
Yeah.
And I knew they were going to take Spencer because he was the smallest one, and I didn't want that on my mind. So I turned around and went back. He's got kids at home and a wife, Me and Mark, he could take us and it wouldn't really matter.
But nobody cares.
Spencer, it's different. So in the best interest of Spencer and his family, we got him back out. So,
and that's how I saved the day.
Yes.
But we thought we heard something up above us at one point on the trail. And it's a perfect vantage point for an animal to be up there and look down and see what the humans are doing. And yeah, I'd go ahead and show the video, Larry.
All right. We've got 2 different thermal videos. Spencer's going to share his later, but this one is from Mark's vantage point in his thermal.
Do it full screen.
I'll try. I might block it.
Yeah, don't block Gene.
I ain't unblocked her yet. I'll get it done after the show, though, I promise. Good grief. Look at all that heat coming off that fat dude. Oh, it's me. But this area, this is across a bridge going toward the main waterfall, and Spencer at this point has had a hit on his thermal. We looked at it, and I'm trying to walk up to it to see if I can get some eye shine or something with a flashlight. And you can see that wall of laurel right there in between me and it. And I walked up there, and it's like I hit a wall. I couldn't go any further.
Yes.
And I never did get anything with my flashlight at all. So I turned around and went back to Spencer, figuring that I'd spooked whatever it was off. If it was an animal, a bear or something, they would have probably taken off. At least went on the other side of the ridge. But this thing would just stay right there as if it was peeking over the ridge. I don't know what y'all's interpretation is. Y'all can say what y'all thought.
Well, I for me, and if you was to listen to the audio, this thermal records audio too. And I just keep saying, this is no identifiable, if that's a word, animal. When you look at deer, you go, bam, that's a deer,
Yeah.
But with this, at no point of time did it show itself completely or whatever that you could say, oh, okay, it's this or that.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was behind something most of the time. I mean, it would be smaller, then it would get bigger, like it was moving around something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here right now thinking about the audience looking at it. And what comes to my mind is a pareidolia picture. I mean, we're talking about it. We don't know what it is, but this is a thermal hit. We had just been up on this ridge down a trail to another waterfall and come out of this trail.
And we were looking at that.
Yeah, and we were using the thermals as we went. And whenever we got back down in this flat area, we hung around there and just scanned around. And from the direction we came, we got this heat signature.
Well, we heard a small limb snap or whatever, which is why we looked up there, and then we saw that. But it wasn't, it wasn't anything real loud. Whatever it was, it stayed. It even whenever we walked towards it, it would move behind the thing a little bit, and then it kind of poked back out.
Yeah, and we don't know what it is, but the situation that we got the hit is just suspect. Now, if it was a hungry black bear that smelt the pork chops or whatever we had ate that night on us, and yeah, the half pound of baby roost that Mark and Spencer ate while I was on a diet. But we did try twice to walk up to this area to see what it was, and you can see on that thermal there's just thick junk between us and it.
And it would like disappear and then come back, just kind of like what you said, like it was kind of hiding behind something, knowing that we were there. I think when I listen to the audio of this, it is a great teaching tool because we are, Spencer, how far do you think we were from the Jeep?
From the Jeep?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Probably what, 400 yards or so?
Probably so. So that would have really been a gauntlet to try to get back to the Jeep, if something was to happen. But you can hear our voices as we talked that we wasn't tripping out over it or getting anxious or breathing hard. We were just taking it all in and we were being calm. And this is really similar to when me and Larry were at LBL and had a thermal hit that a lot of people, if they would have spotted that, they would have shot back towards the Jeep, and got reception and proclaimed to the World Wide Web that they've got, thermal footage, of a Bigfoot.
That's a fact, Jack.
But we stayed there a long time. We stayed there until it completely disappeared from us.
Spencer, how about putting your thermal up there?
Mine's not nearly.
Spencer's isn't a full screen, but Spencer got an interesting angle on it at one point that to me looked like torso with arms beside it and a head. I don't know if it'll show up on his or not.
Well, there's
that was the only time I thought I saw that, and it could have been mountain laurel. in between the heat signature area that I just, it just gave that illusion of arms down to the side standing there.
Hold on one second.
I got all day. I got some more people to block.
We're going to start out with Leanne.
This is the short video clip. I had a picture up here, but I can't figure out how to pull it up. Now, this is whenever we were, I don't know, we were probably in excess of 100 yards away from it at this point, or close to it. It was further away than what I thought. And it's way uphill. You can't tell in the video, but whenever you try to walk up to it, you just hit a wall of thorn and holly bushes and all kinds of stuff.
Now, while Spencer was making his way to it, I was holding Spencer's phone, which his thermal was Bluetooth to. Spencer was looking through the eye relief looking. And at times he would pull it down and hold it in the general area and walk and wasn't really seeing what I was seeing. So at the end of Spencer trying to get up to it, it was starting to move out to where it looked like it might have been an opening between two trees. And Spencer dropped the thermal and walked back to me.
I couldn't see it.
Yeah, he'd lost it. But I was seeing little specks of the heat through the leaves and knew it was moving to the right. But Spencer had lost it. So that was unfortunate.
Well, to Spencer's defense, and Larry, you know this, try to walk up there and get closer. And it was just thick with briars and everything else.
Yeah.
It's just like running into a wall. You really can't see that on the thermal, but
right.
You could just imagine walking into, where the ridge starts at the foothill of the ridge and just how thick the briars were.
And looking through the viewfinder on the thermal, you lose your night vision too.
Yeah.
And Spencer was having trouble seeing where he was going and seeing that whatever it was. So
yeah,
we'll excuse him this time, but he's got to hang in there longer next time.
The thing that gets me about it is we had just come from that area. We scanned up there while we were there. We didn't see anything. We backed off a little bit, heard a limb snap or whatever, looked up there, see this thing. And I mean, how long were we sitting down there watching it total? Like, it had to be more than 10 minutes because the one video I had was 10 minutes. And
I think the first video was 13 minutes and something. And then you made me stop it and start it again. And then you did another 7 or 8 minutes on the
I don't know, but it was there and we kept, getting closer and it would go behind whatever and then come out and, not normal animal behavior to me, but can't really say what it was.
Nope, we can't say. We can just put a red circle around it and have at it. But we bring more evidence than anybody. I'm kidding.
I was about to exit the studio.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, that was a joke. By the way, I'm sarcastic, unlike Spencer.
Yeah, I did, Mark. I did.
No, you didn't. You left it in my Jeep.
Well, no, but we tried it.
Yeah, now I got it.
Now you got it. Dang on, I did leave it there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. It was great for hauling out all them empty propane tanks and all that.
I got more buckets.
Well, you'll see me next weekend at Bama's retreat.
I thought you was about to say you'll see me next weekend naked.
Well,
we don't want to see that.
It could happen. It probably won't happen, but it could if he comes in the wrong tent. Anyway, all right, Spencer, I'll give it back to you next weekend, and I'll have my clothes on.
That's good.
Yeah, for both of us. So after that, it pretty much went off to the right, went back toward the small waterfall. And at that point, it was what, 2 or 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
And it was way past my bedtime, so we gave up that night. Or did we? Is that the night we made the loop around?
No, I think that was the first night.
Yeah, the first night we made the loop, and then the second night we went into the campground. And then we talked to the Grangers again.
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. And they told us about that other road that was open that normally ain't open.
Yeah.
That they opened because of the bear season.
Yeah. He said that road had been closed, what, like a year and a half or something like that?
And said this was the only week or 2-week period that it was open through the whole time. So we hit it, and we immediately got a squirrel. Immediately. We didn't ride around for an hour and a half, Spencer, and get one. We immediately got one as soon as we got on that road.
You got lucky.
Pretty much. Oh, I forgot I made a little. Do y'all remember that place?
I do.
I always check the first bathroom door, Mark. You ain't got to walk all the way around there. There's Sandy, Stephanie, and Mark going into the food plot, where we did find tracks. Spencer, the tracker, found some tracks.
Please.
What?
I said, please don't call me a tracker.
Well, you found the tracks.
Possible tracks.
Well, possible. That's right.
And you tracked them.
Yeah.
Leanne, I have nothing. I haven't organized anything since last March at the winter meet and eat. Everything I've been to in the last month and a half has been other people inviting me to. We had the SAS group invite us to LBL, had the Sisters of the Moon invite us to Georgia, and now Bama has cordially invited me to LBL. So I'm free of all charges. I have no inner circle, except for Spencer, and he's a good cook.
That's what it takes. If you want Larry to show up, create an event and promise to feed him. He'll come.
Yeah, I'll be there. We brought 1 pack of casting material and cast 1 track. And when the Sisters of the Moon are on, it's either Debbie or Barbara's got it, I think, but they'll show that, see how it turned out. Oh, Spencer, do you want to talk about where y'all followed the tracks to? Barbara just said as a possible blind or something, because I didn't go down there with y'all.
Yeah, well, I mean, they can cover it because one of them found it. I think Stephanie and somebody else found it, but it did. I mean, it wasn't natural. So I don't know how it was formed, if it was a person or, I mean, you know, but the tracks did go back in that area, and the location that it was at, not only was there a possible blind there, but there were other trees, and they can tell you as good as I can. There were other trees pushed down all over. Look at the crackers.
Look at that.
Look at the crackers in
That's
the
the comment question of the night.
Yeah.
No.
Do any of y'all eat saltine crackers in your chili?
Or do you eat corn chips?
Or do you do both?
Or crackers? Nobody eats both, Larry.
Not at the same time, but maybe one time they'll use crackers and one time they use corn chips.
Why would you do that after you tried the corn chips? You would find out they are superior.
They are not. They hurt you. They gouge you in the gums, where these saltines are nice.
Those saltines are good for scooping it up off the ground. That's why you like them.
That's true, too. Uh-oh. It must be a Southern thing. See, Bama loves saltines.
Of course he does. You can't
Gary
listen to
Spike
him about it.
Sr. likes saltines.
Yeah, but I met Gary, and you can't listen to him neither.
C. Blanton says either.
Well, see, Blanton, I like you already.
Leanne. What? I know you have to be. No, Leanne. There is no Larry Click. None. Barbara likes both.
Barbara, don't take his
Bill likes cornbread with his chili.
I work too.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'll crumble up some cornbread over chili.
Ruger Ridge likes both. Dorian likes both. C. Blanton said they're good. Papa C says death by card. Yeah, that's my goal. Texas Jack likes Fritos.
Good man, Texas Jack.
Leanne said she likes y'all and she's joking to me. And Debbie's got to go racist and say I love crackers. Oh, she meant saltines. My bad, Debbie.
Debbie's fine.
All right, sometimes either one. Greg will accept that, even though you're from Alabama. Just another person. That was great. I made that chili myself. I couldn't get Spencer to cook me chili. What'd you make us, Spencer? Go through the menu real quick. Don't let your wife hear, though.
Oh, okay. I guess on the first night it was grilled. It was steak and grilled pork chops, and what did we have? We had baked beans and stuffing, and then I think the second night was the smothered pork chops, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh
smothered pork chops and mashed potatoes and something I forget. And then the last night was the penne pasta with the Italian sausage and hamburger and garlic bread. Did garlic bread on the grill, which is something I've never done before. Didn't come out bad.
No, it didn't. Did you notice I didn't stop to complain about anything you cooked?
You didn't complain.
And look, he not only cooked it, he brought us our plates.
Gary.
Yes, he did, Debbie. Spencer would put our food on our plates and bring it over to us. It was, what did I say, Mark? It's good to be the king. I'm kidding. Spencer did us like he does his girls. He took good care of us.
Yes, I'm used to serving my girls and my wife here at home. So
yeah, well, we accepted it.
No.
I'm not too proud. I'm
not.
Oh me. All right, that's enough of the chili.
The chili thing was a constant source of conversation for one night.
Yeah, it was. But we got through it. And I cooked it, and me and Mark ate it. The girls ate it. Nobody died. They all had heartburn, but nobody died. Yeah, I've heard of people eating chili over spaghetti. Have you?
No, but I would try it.
I've heard of it.
Barbara said the pasta was great.
Oh, thank you. Barbara made me coffee, so she can do no wrong.
Paul asked, was this for dirt chili or regular? This time it was regular.
Crackers are for dirt chili.
See, look what Debbie said there. Larry talking about the smothered pork chops constantly.
Oh, they were so good. They were tender. You could cut them with a fork.
For what it's worth, Larry
Barbara said they hogged the pork chops.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Barbara. I did.
We didn't share that.
We finished it off.
Yeah. All right. We got to get off the food. I can talk about food all night. I love it.
Wait, one more thing on the food. Larry.
All right. Yes.
Tell them what you do with turkey.
You shoot them in the face.
No, not that part.
Oh, what part?
The recipe.
The recipe?
Yeah.
Okay. If you kill a wild turkey, my preferred method of cooking a wild turkey is you take the breast and you kind of cube it like 1 or 2 inch cubes. You put some cream cheese on it and you wrap it. You marinate the turkey breast in Italian dressing for at least a day or so. And then you put the cream cheese on there. You wrap it up in bacon. You put a toothpick with either a pepperoncini pepper or a banana pepper on top, and you cube it all and do that and grill them till the bacon is done. And it's called a turkey popper, and they are fantastic. And Spencer just made some. Do you want to show everybody?
No, I don't have the picture up on the. No.
Well, you got it sitting right there behind you. I can smell it.
No, I don't. No, it's already put away. It's already put away. But it's a really good recipe, y'all.
Yeah, it is good.
Anything that has bacon wrapped around it.
Right.
Man, when we used to go to the racetrack, there was one guy that would take water chestnuts and wrap bacon around them and grill them. Whew, they were good.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the turkey poppers, you can substitute venison or duck, anything like that, and do the same thing, and it's all good. All good.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Anthony's cooking up victuals next weekend.
Is he cooking for us, Spencer? Me and Mark?
He told me he's going to cook for everybody.
Ooh. I tell you what, I'll donate some money to the grocery fund.
I'm just kidding. He might not be watching right now.
Well,
he'd show up and be like, I'm doing what?
Yeah. And I'd show up without any food, expecting he's going to feed me, and he's going to, I ain't cooking for you.
Nah, he'd feed you.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
He'd probably poison it, but
yeah. One night, he said, just one night. Well, that's fine. Saturday and Sunday. No, Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I'll be home. Probably. Hey, did Jean get back in there? I see people saying good night, Jean. She may have signed in on different. I'm sorry, Jean. All right. Let's move on to door number 3.
Okay, I'll get you the video.
All right. The last night we were there, Mark, myself, Shelly, and Debbie all rode around in the Jeep. And Mark, well, I guess they had their TK Scouts, but Mark had the Bluetooth thermal. And man, we hit this road that the Grangers told us was open and we needed to go down. And we went down it. Within 100 or 200 yards, we got the first hit of the first squirrel. We're like, all right, at least we're seeing some wildlife. We roll another quarter of a mile, half a mile, get another hit. And for once, here we go, Mark. I'm going to admit it.
Well,
here we go.
Just show the video.
All right, we see this. And I'm going to play it a little bit more.
Yeah, it's 3 minutes is the video clip on it, and I've got it looped twice.
All right, we see this. Conversation at this point. Mark's seeing it with his thermal. He's got his phone on his lap. I'm driving. I can see his phone. I see this, and I'm like, what in the world is that? And to me and him, it looks like it's peeking from behind that tree. So I'm getting excited thinking, we finally got a good thermal hit of one. See how it goes away? My brain is thinking booger right now. Thinking booger. I'm going to admit this right now. Thinking booger. And my brain will not get off a booger. And about the time that it quits doing this, it's still playing. It just ain't moving. This is what we're seeing. And I'm thinking booger peeking out from behind that tree. And that's all my brain is thinking right now. One eye peeking. The tree peeker. That's all I'm thinking. And about this time, Shelly and Debbie are parking up and starting to look over our shoulder at it. And here in a second, you'll see, and it'll become a little more obvious what it is. But as soon as they saw this, they said what it was. And Mark couldn't play the audio because of my language. See? You can kind of see how its head moves. See that? Now, my brain had already locked in on booger at this point. So I'm thinking tree peeker, booger. And the girls don't know. They've just now started really looking at it. And here in a second, it's going to look dead at us. And you'll see two glowing eyes. And Larry's thinking booger and going, what in the crap are we looking at here? Come on. We take that a whole lot longer than I remembered. But that's what got me. It kept looking like a stinking tree picker. And my brain just wouldn't go off of it. And I think about this time or a little bit later, Shelly and Debbie both said, ow. And I immediately said, bleep, bleep, bleep. It is an owl. But my brain was locked in and would not let me see anything other than what I was thinking. And a lot of times whenever you're out in the field in a situation like that, people's brain gets locked in. Right here is when they look. And it moves its head and they said owl immediately. And I was like, God, that's what it is. It's an owl. So that right there showed me how easily you can work yourself into thinking something's a booger. If we'd have just took off down the road, I'd have been telling Mark, man, we got a great thermal of a booger. And then everybody would have been looking at this thermal going, you idiot, that's an owl. But I had tunnel vision. I'd made myself have tunnel vision because of the one eye thing. So I told Mark, I said, make sure you download that thermal of that owl because I'm going to sell myself out. I'm going to tell that I really had my mind made up what it was before the girls said, that's an owl. And then my brain unlocked and I went, good gosh, it is. But it's still cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the only heat you could see was its eyes.
As soon as they said that, I thought about, I heard somebody say one time that the feathers will keep you from seeing the rest of the profile of the owl.
Yeah.
There's no heat coming through the feathers.
Right.
They insulate.
It did insulate. But man, those eyes looked huge.
Yeah.
It had to be a great horned owl. But I don't even know if Georgia has them or not. But I just wanted to show y'all that and publicly admit that I was bad wrong initially till my brain cells got unclogged from what I was thinking. But it was still a cool thermal, I thought.
You know, one thing, Spencer, I want to tell you, Larry told me that you were that you ordered a window mount for your thermal.
Yeah.
And so when he told me that, I thought, man, that would be perfect for this strategy of riding around with the thermal. And so I ordered me one. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. I can't wait for us to use it whenever we go out and are riding the roads, because it's excellent platform for a thermal.
I put it on the side by side and tried it out, and I was really impressed. With the thermals now, the ones that Bluetooth to the phone, you can put it and then you can tighten it down and lock it, like looking out front or whatnot, and you can just set your phone on a phone holder or whatever, like I have a magnetic mount that my phone just goes to, and then I can just drive and kind of glance at my phone. If you set it up right there in front of you, it seems to be a pretty good combination for that kind of stuff. But again, you got to go slow, like what we were doing out there. You got to go slow.
Yeah. Well, it don't hurt to go slow. That way you ain't getting all the shaky, bumpy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, not that shaky, bumpy.
We were going slow everywhere. We were in the campground and by the waterfalls and everything else. Like, slow down! I can't see anything.
Was there anything to see?
No.
A squirrel.
A little bit. 2 squirrels. 2.
Yeah, that's something that really amazes me. That area, as much as we rode through there with those thermals, that we didn't see more animals than what we saw. We didn't see a bear, a deer, a raccoon, possum. All we saw was squirrels and that owl. That's it. Now, the bear hunters did get a bear, but they were down in one of the most gnarly valleys that was there.
Oh my gosh. The valley that was behind where the ladies were camped. I mean, yeah, I can't imagine a lot of people would be going down in there.
No.
I mean, that steep and that deep of a drop, I can't imagine. But then again, whenever the girls get on, they can talk about what they had experienced. And I mean, how far away were we? A mile, less than a mile?
Less than a mile, yeah.
Somewhere right in there. And I mean, we didn't have, a whole lot happen there at camp. So we had to go out and find stuff. But I could see, why they could have experienced stuff where they were, because look what was all around them.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at Mark.
I know. I am looking at Mark. Mark, look up from your phone.
Sorry.
Where'd you get that shirt?
Actually, Cam Buckner's wife gave it to me.
Well, that's one thing. As we were going to Georgia, we stopped to eat breakfast, and we called Cam, and he said, y'all should have let me know. My wife would have cooked breakfast, and we could all eat. And I was like, well, we've already ate now, but I could probably turn around and eat again.
Yeah. It's been 7 o'clock before we got to camp.
Yeah. But no, it was a good time, though. It was a good trip. We did have a lot of fun. We had fun. No doubt we had fun. Yeah. We just made it, as we were in camp, just a camping trip, and we tried to do what we could as we went out. And we tried to force it without messing up the Sisters of the Moon research area. We didn't go into anywhere close to their stuff. We did go into their camp to give them wood, I guess, to give some of our food away, even though I hated to give our food away. I didn't mind sharing the firewood, but
the firewood, that was funny though, on the firewood. Y'all have got to work on fire management. If you were in a survival situation, you would freeze to death. You can't do that.
It was 30 minutes after sunset, and they'd already burned a cord of wood.
There were 2 pieces left. There was 2 pieces left. I'm very disappointed.
Oh, mercy. But no, we had a good trip, good times, and I did get some good rest.
Yeah, Larry rested a lot.
Yeah.
And Mark gave me permission. He'd say, Larry, you just need to sit down and rest. And I'd say, okay.
Larry rested a lot, and Mark needs an hour warning before you're going to go anywhere.
20 minutes.
Bradley.
20.
Bradley just texted me and said,
he's wearing a pink shirt.
he said, I hope the girls couldn't smell the coconut oil from y'all's camp.
I just hope they couldn't hear the Brokeback Mountain movie playing. All right. I guess we covered everything we wanted to cover, hadn't we?
Yes,
Spencer, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Mark Ledford said if you'd like to mess with raccoons, lay out some crackers in a bowl of water and watch them wash the crackers. Yeah, I've seen that. Unfortunately, we'd have had crackers laid out in a bowl of water and nothing would ever come around to get none of it. It seems. I don't know. Because we didn't. Well, Mark did see a rabbit in our camp. And I did hear something outside my tent chewing that was probably that rabbit eating some of that stuff, because it wasn't nothing big. But
let's show that, because
you got it.
Yes. Let me pull it up. We showed it earlier, but I slowed down the clips.
Yeah.
And let me make sure
if y'all have any questions, put them in all caps and Spencer answer them.
Sexy.
There he is again. Look at him. Is that in slow motion too?
You have to put it in video form. Let's see.
Wait, let's back it up a little bit. That kind of looks stretched out. Where
not.
Where mine's always full. I'm kidding, Mark. I'm kidding.
All right, let me see. Okay, this may be it here. Yep. There he runs, and then
we almost caught him. Is that a rabbit or a rat?
Yeah.
You know, at first that
ain't a rabbit.
First I thought it was a rat, but I do believe it's a rabbit.
You sure it ain't a hamster? Oh man.
That was pretty cool. I shot that while inside my tent.
Oh, I bet that was a chipmunk.
It looks too big to be a chipmunk.
Some of them are fat. I don't think it's a rabbit though.
It's hard to say, but it don't look like a rabbit to me.
I think it's a booger.
It's an owl.
Oh man. Y'all know how to catch. Y'all know how to catch a unique rabbit?
No.
Unique up on it.
Greg, if you missed the beginning of the show,
that was Greg.
Greg, Greg, if you missed the beginning of the show, make sure you go back and watch the very beginning.
It's a big rat or a small groundhog.
You've been corrected, Larry.
I give up. Next week's show will be hosted by Debbie Jones.
Good. Good.
And I'm good with that. I really am. All right. I think, are you done, Mark?
Yeah, I guess so. I think we covered everything.
I think so too, Spencer.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Greg said he saw it and y'all overwhelmed me. Well, we appreciate it. We sure do. And I've taken one of them knives and used it at work. It's the only reason I'm still here. No, I'm kidding. I did use it though to open up some fiber. Sure did.
Do you want to talk about that person that stands on the side of the road where you're working at?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
I knew that tickled Spencer.
Greg wants you to tell him about the mud you found on his porch post.
Yeah. You found it, Larry.
All right. One of Greg's stories was that he kept getting the side of his man cave slapped, and he said they always slapped a beam on the back porch. So as he was saying it, he was kind of pointing in the general area it was, and I walked over and looked, and two of them, one of them had mud on it about, 7 foot, 6, 7 foot?
Yeah.
And he'd never seen it before. So we saw that on one, and on another, there was something on it. I don't know what it was, but it kind of corroborated what he was saying about where it was slapping. And it was actually something visible there. And he'd not looked for it, but it was pretty obvious whenever he walked up there. But he said that happens a lot. And evidently, they don't wash their hands while they do it. That's all I know. How about this? Any UFO sightings up in the mountains? And I'm sure he's not just talking about UFOs. I'm sure he's talking about lights also.
And I think we talked to Scott and Sheila about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And the video we showed, the food plot, they actually said they had a light, an orb, come up the side of that food plot from the bottom up toward the top. So they have been seen in that area, but we did not see any while we were there.
I will say on that, I think it was the first night. But like I said, cars, I mean, you know how many cars drove through while we were there. I mean, it really did seem like every 30, 40 minutes a car was driving through. And up where the road in the distance kind of wrapped around at about, I guess it was 2:33 in the morning. I woke up. I did see two lights that they look like lights. I mean, I don't know what they were. If it was a car, the only thing that stuck out in my head was if it was a car where it was, it would have to be turned almost sideways in the road, but that could happen. I mean, so I don't know, but it was up there kind of near that road, but it kind of looked like car headlights. I didn't see it. They were just there, and then they went out. I mean, then they were gone. So I don't know what it was. My gut thinks that it was, you know, car headlights, but maybe the car was turned around in the road, and I kind of saw it sideways. But I did see that at whatever 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning on the first night there.
Yeah. I never did see anything that I thought was a light or anything, and I don't. Mark, did you?
No.
So, and the Grangers, they never said what they thought the light was. They just said it was round and maybe softball size or bigger, a little bigger. A ball of light, basically. So I don't know. All right. All right.
All right.
I think that'll do it, folks. Spencer's tired. I'm tired. Mark's tired.
I'm having a sugar low. I am. I'm having a sugar low now. It's dropping.
Go get you some Baby Ruth.
Yeah. Larry needs to go rest.
Yeah, I do need to go rest. This is tiresome. First, I got to figure out how to unblock Gene.
Yeah.
And then I'll go rest. But anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed it. Have a good night. And remember, none of us are experts. Even me, I can be fooled by a stupid owl for a second till my woman straightens me out. All right, folks. Oh, gosh. There it is. Here we go. We'll see y'all. Who's up next week?
I think that we should have the ladies on, the Sisters of the Moon, and the special invited guest that they had.
Do you think that they will have their evidence gone through by then?
Well, how many hours of audio have they listened to?
Get on to them, Mark.
I'm not going to get on to them.
All right. All right. We may have the Sisters of the Moon on your channel next Thursday, or
we could it doesn't matter, whatever you want to do.
I don't care, but I was just trying to give people heads up. I don't know what your situation is next week.
Yeah.
I'm good. So if I need to do it, I can. And if Spencer needs to do it. Spencer, one more thing before we get off here. You went live on Beast the other day and you talked about, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Stop it. Always putting somebody on the spot. Stop it. Always putting somebody on the spot. I went live the other day because like Sundays are slow time for me. And I don't know. I just got this thing in my head where I'm like, does anybody want to have like a weekly recap where we talk about like, you know, did anything new come up this week? And does anybody have any specific topics they want to talk about or questions or whatnot? And me, I mean, I'm into the whole Bigfoot thing, but also like, you know, barbecuing or grilling or whatnot, or the whole outdoors camping, wilderness survival type thing. And I was just simply saying that, you know, on Sundays, we could have a time that's scheduled where we have like a small, you know, like 30-minute thing where we talk about like if people, one of the people that commented had a really good idea. They said you could just have it so that people put questions on Facebook, because I did a live thing on the Beast page, and you could have people put questions if anybody wanted to like talk about a specific thing or whatever, and we could just talk about that. And it'd be kind of like a communal chat, except for it'd be live on like the Beast page at around 2:33, something like that. And I was just putting it out there to see if anybody would be interested in it. And quite a few people actually hit on it and said that they would be. And I was thinking that, you know, it could be something as simple as just, we'd have to do a couple of them and see what it turns out to be like. But it could be something as simple as just us talking via a live chat on Facebook, or it could turn into something where it's like this is a small video or whatnot on like everything from how to build a shelter, how to purify water, how to do ribs, whatever. It could be anything like that. But I mean, I just
figured and if you do cook ribs or something, you could cut to me eating them.
Yeah. I'll do one of them from Tennessee next week.
If we got signal, I'm going to bring that $150 cell phone booster again. If it don't work this time, it's going in the lake. No, that's litter, and I'll just take it home, send it back.
I got a better idea. That we post questions on the Facebook page, and then since Bama doesn't have reception down in Alabama now, that you take Bama's spot, and then we do a live broadcast on Larry's channel or on the Sawdust Beast channel, and give you a broader audience. And people, you could put on there on Sunday night, start posting your questions, and then we'll go live on Thursday night. And
can we name it the Bigfoot Expert?
You name it whatever you want to name it.
No, it ain't me. It's Spencer. I'm not the Bigfoot Expert. I'm the Bigfoot Idiot.
Oh, I got some names for you right now.
All right, before Spencer calls me any names, we're going to get off here. But I just thought of that wait, let you talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Let people comment on it and give their ideas of what they'd like to see or whatever. So, all right, Spencer, I'll have you a list by Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. This time we're through. We're through. Everybody have a good night, and we will see y'all next Thursday, either here or there with the Sisters of the Moon, as long as they're good with it, because we ain't checked. So we might have to check.
That'll be good.
Mark and I will be on Bigfoot Odyssey Sunday night with Daniela. Hopefully. I don't know, Daniela anyway. So y'all come over there and y'all can hear Mark talk about Bigfoot.
And you'll hear Larry talk about eating.
That's right. Hey, you got to stick with what you're good at. Ain't that right?
That's right.
All right. Y'all have a good night, and hopefully this is the right button.
Night, folks.
Bye, y'all.